are you?
How's it going?
Yeah.
Good, good.
I want to welcome you to today's episode of Identity Shift. We have a very special guest with us, the very first female Founders PAK member ever in the history of PAK Home Realty with us. Courtney, please introduce yourself to the audience. We're so excited. This is a must watch, a must listen.
Hi, I am Courtney. I am a real estate agent and broker in Denver, Colorado with PAK Home Realty, and I'm excited to share some tips and shifts that I have implemented in my life and business, and so I hope you guys have some great takeaways.
In today's episode, Courtney's going to break down how she went from being part-time in real estate to truly building the business of her dreams with multiple streams of income. You're not going to want to miss it. We're here in a very special location. We are at the Moxy, where Courtney actually used to bartend here 3 years ago, and that was just shortly before joining PAK. So this is a very special place and a full circle moment. So
yeah, definitely full circle moment.
So take me on the journey from like the Moxy to real estate. I mean, like, you know, I met you probably 2 years ago? 2.5 years now.
2.5 years.
It's flown.
Yeah.
It feels like it's flown. But like, take me from the Moxy to 2.5 years ago. What was going on and what?
Yeah, I think I've shared before, and I have always, like, as a only parent, been just like hustle, grind, you know, like I want my kids to have, you know, all the things that they want. I want to provide them like travel and doing it. So like my mindset at that time was just very different. Like I had my real estate license, but I was doing it like
while you were working here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How long ago was this?
Probably honestly like about 2.5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't that long after.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were working here.
It was maybe like 3 years. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had your license, and so what was your schedule like here?
When I first started, I was working here a lot, like maybe like 4 nights a week.
Okay.
And like in the service industry, especially bartending, it's very lucrative. Like I was making good money, you know. It was just like I was here until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then like the kids had to get up for school, and as an only parent, like I'm doing all of this, and so it was like burnout. And it was in a way like I've always wanted this like bartending as a backup.
Was it like there's
money.
Stability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have cash coming in.
Sure.
Like it was so easy. I had so much fun. Like amazing people.
Yeah.
And like my mindset then was also like I'm gonna network and meet people. You know, like people coming from all over, like possibly moving here. You know, but really like I wasn't going all in on my real estate because there was things missing where I didn't feel like 100% confident that I can do that full time and be okay.
Yeah.
Because of, you know, just the market and all the scenarios of just, you know, real estate isn't hard.
Right.
Like I love it. I have a beautiful like schedule now, and everything has came into place how it's supposed to. But it's hard sometimes, you know?
Well, and I think that's the identity shift that like most people are going through. You're absolutely right. I always say this, like the toughest thing to do in this business is stay in this business.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with the mindset, right? It's like you were just sharing, like the market at the time was maybe hard. Well, there's people right now that would say the market's hard, you know? Like there's always something going on. So I'm curious from you, like what would you say was like a switch for you from like a mindset perspective that was like, okay, I'm going now like full-time into this business. I'm going to burn the boats, right? I'm going to go full-time in this. And, you know, this is really like what I want to make my craft.
Yeah. It was definitely a mindset shift of like, I was also at the same time working full-time at another brokerage remotely during the day.
Okay.
And then I would come here like 4 nights a week. Like I don't know, like I was in a salary position there. We've talked about that before.
Sure,
yeah. But stuck to my desk, not really had any time to do my own production.
Right.
Priority was that.
Yeah.
And working for a company, like a huge company, where I just didn't really feel like this was for me. I just didn't feel that. And so I knew like something has to change. I know there's like a way to do this, but I really need to like actually believe in myself first.
Yeah.
And so that takes like time because you have like doubts and you have, you know, thoughts that go through your head and like worrying and so you have to like really let go of like all of those things. And so I just was like, you know, meeting Jose when I did was like the perfect timing.
Yeah.
And all of it, like, so many things had to happen before that for me to like that, even to meet him. So
like you were actually looking at that time.
Yeah.
Because you were just kind of going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just burnt out, like working 2 jobs. Like it was crazy. And I just didn't have the time or flexibility that I wanted to live life, like really.
Talk like, yeah, so share that with me, right? Like what was keeping you, I mean, obviously you're working and, you know, if you were to be like working here and we were to come up, you're happy, you're cool, you're, hey, what do you guys need? It's all good, right?
Yeah.
But like, what was the thing that in the back of your mind was like, was it like there's more out there? Was it like I'm not giving it my all?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. A lot of it comes back to my kids and like time.
Okay.
Although like I'm trying to do all these things so they have, you know, that we can go do the things. Like I don't have the time to really go do those things that I want to have, or the flexibility to do that. And I was really just like in such a like place of like, okay, work, like the same thing. And it's like years now, like by, and it's like, oh my gosh, my kids are growing up. Like it's scary, and that was like really hard for me. Like recently, I've been like letting go of that a little bit, just like because my daughters are 18 and 16 now, like, and I had them when I was really young, and so it's always been just like grinding and working multiple jobs, and like then you wake up and it's like they're teenagers and now they're graduating high school, and it's like so it was like that. I just knew like time was so important.
Time.
And the time part of it was like the biggest thing. And then also just like I know that like that I can be at that time, you know. It's like if I really like actually tried instead of just winging it, I can be in real estate full time, but I need like what all do I need to be able to do that?
Right.
And I just didn't ever have that. When I started my career, it was in like 2018, so the market was like really hot. I got listings like right away, and like I didn't have the support though from
like the structure.
Yeah. I was just like winging it and like, oh my god, I don't know, like okay, we got a listing, and then
you're
you put it on the
like,
market.
Like you're gonna make stuff.
Like, okay, like we trust you, you got this.
Right.
But really, I was like what? But also like at that time, we would put a property on the market. Over the weekend, you have like 15 offers.
Right.
Over asking price, like, and the sellers are just like so happy, and like it's like, all right.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like hit the ground running and didn't implement those systems to be sustainable in another market. And I think that's what like we talk about so much.
Oh yeah. So then you meet Jose, and I remember because he calls me and he's like, I just met Courtney at a football game, and I'm like, okay, cool, you know. And he's like, I want you to talk to her, and so on and so on. And I remember we had some conversations and with Juan and things like that. And I'm curious from your perspective though, because from my perspective, it was like, oh, she's a great fit. Like this is awesome. Like there were some things that you shared that was like, oh, this could be perfect, you know, like what this could grow into, right? It's almost like I had it in my mind, and I know Jose and Juan did. Yeah. And then it was like almost the second part of it was just like the faith of it, that it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time, right? Yeah. From your perspective though, like what were the things that were stopping you from making that move, if there was any at that point in time?
Just at the like when I met Jose and obviously like hit it off, like loved, you know, like everything he was sharing with me, obviously. And I had the vision. I was like, I can like feel, like, you know, when you just like feel something feels like your nervous system is like telling you, or it'll tell you like no.
Yeah.
And I just knew like where I was at was not it. I wasn't happy, like something, and I was just like waiting for that something and then seeing it and believing it. But there were like times where I was like, I don't know, like, what if I fail? Like, what if this doesn't work out? And like, I have to, like, I just like trying to think, you know, about like what could happen. And sometimes that's like, you're thinking about all the negative things that could happen.
Yeah.
And really like meeting Jose, Juan, you, everyone in the community with PAK is like, now where I'm at, 2.5 years later, is like a totally different person.
Oh, yes, it's amazing.
And so, yeah, it was just like all worked out, and, you know, like Jose and Juan were, you know, open to Colorado, and they knew like what they wanted, and at first, even at first I was like, am I really like, am I like who you see? Are you, like, you guys are telling, like,
interesting,
you know what I mean?
interesting, yeah.
Am I like, is this like, do I feel confident enough to really like be in that role? Yeah. And it was a lot of work. But having the support that I have is why like I'm able to be here now.
Yeah.
And just the whole journey, and honestly really like a relatively short amount of time.
I mean, I would, from the outside looking in, like just looking at your journey, I would say like in a relatively short amount of time, like not only have you caught on, but you're thriving and you're excelling and really a staple, you know, like you're really a staple, which is super cool. It's interesting you shared that though. Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of times I'm like, oh yeah, you're a rock star. This is great. Like, you're Courtney's, oh my gosh, you know, and I never thought about that perspective on the other side of it. It's like, you're almost thinking to yourself, like, okay, like there's some adjustments, there's some habits maybe even, or, I mean, you just talked to me about a 72-hour fast. Like,
yeah.
Was that person doing a 72-hour fast, right? You know what I mean? Like,
no.
That's like, you're doing some work.
Yeah. I've learned so much, and being around like individuals who are like so supportive, and that's what I've really like, just from being around that energy,
right?
Like it's like in me, but I don't know, it's just like, okay, I'm getting the reassurance.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has taken time, and a lot of work personally.
Right.
And so yeah, the mindset shift is definitely what like had to happen. And when we talk about like all the different PAK events, you know, like you've seen from Arkansas, and just like the growth on the University.
Yes.
Like they're all like very memorable pieces to my story.
Yeah.
And to like just the journey. And it's like, you know, I know like myself a little bit more now, and so I think self-awareness is like key to if you are in a place where you're like, I know this isn't it, but I don't know exactly what it is. Like, learning yourself and self-awareness is like, has been the best for me personally.
Know thyself. I mean, that's the game, because you know when you're copping out on things, and you know also what's possible on things, so you know you're like, oh no, that it's almost like, oh no, that's not even me really. That, you know, like type of a thing, right? Like, it's me, but it's not really my. That's good. That's good.
Knowing yourself, you know, like, what do you like? What do I not like? Sure. Why do I not like these things? Is this like something that I learned from somewhere that's not really even like meaningful to me, and I just started going with that? Like, there's so many like layers into that, like self-awareness, but you know, one of them was I was always like, I was kind of quiet sometimes, and like Juan came up to me and he's like, oh, like you're quiet, like, oh, you know, like I can see that you're like this charismatic person, but sometimes like I would be like very quiet, and I realized like just reflecting on that, and like knowing that I'm in a place where I can like be myself. I trust these people. It's not like a competition, and no one is gonna be, you know, being like pointing, you know, like saying you're this or you're this, like that type. It was just like completely open. And that takes time to like adjust to. Like, oh, okay, like it's okay. But one of the really like big aha moments, I guess, like you would say. I thought in my head, like, Jose is so charismatic, like the most amazing speaker, oh my gosh. And then, you know, Juan as well. And so we have like these two strong leaders in our office. And when it was time for me to like step into my leadership, or you know, the thoughts that I have, you know, were like they're so amazing. Like, who's gonna want to like listen to me? You know, like I'm about to do this class, and like I'm sure like they would rather listen to Jose. You know, like those type of things. And so once I had the self-awareness of what was going on, like I could really unpack that.
Yeah. Why are you talking to yourself like that, right?
Mm-hmm. And so to that, once I started stepping into that, like it would be like little steps I would take.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm nervous, you know, just like relax, you know, just be yourself. It was really like important to me. You know, of course, like I can take little things from all these leaders, but really just like figuring out myself. And when I started doing that more, of course, you know, as they say, like energy you put out, you get back. You know, agents would come up to me and like, thank you so much, Courtney, for sharing that. You know, like that, like you saying that helped me so much.
Right.
And really just like being vulnerable. Like I just try and be as honest as possible. Even when it's like scary, or I don't want to like kind of like, maybe I'm like, oh, I shouldn't say that, or I don't want to share that, you know, like I'm just like, just be you, be open, and like people see that.
For sure. I love that. You know, and you kind of touched on the events a little bit. I specifically remember the business planning retreat, Inspire. We did it in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
We're writing down our limiting beliefs, and then we toss them in a fire. And I remember that one for you, and I remember that one because we had a brief conversation, but it was like you were just almost just like cool, right? Well, then we fast forwarded to like the Reignite last year in Colorado, and you were speaking on the stage. And so I'm curious for yourself, has there been a system, and you touched on it a little bit here, but I just kind of want you to go deeper. Has there been a system? Has there been something that maybe as a community here in Colorado that you're doing on the company level, something that you really feel like it's impacted you, but it could also impact probably somebody else that maybe you weren't doing before?
Yeah, so many things, but I think the accountability piece of it, like, you know, when we have our coaching calls, when we have the PAK huddles, like having a structure of your business and being consistent with that is really important. Yeah. So, you know, having somewhere where those things are available to me.
Being talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, being able to get out of like the comfort zone of your own house or your own like city and going to events.
Right.
And really going to these events, like I think Arkansas was the first one. I wasn't gonna go. I was like, Arkansas, what? I want to go to Arkansas. And like when I went, I was like, wow, this is like not what I was expecting. It's beautiful. Like the hike we went on, the nature. We were like in the Ozarks, and like I didn't know any of this stuff. So I'm just thinking, you know, but so it's just like you have to be open to new things,
right?
Even when like it might not be comfortable, like really put yourself out there. And then when you do go to the events, like take advantage of that. Like be fully immersed in that. To really get like the full experience of that, you know.
So
be vulnerable, like do the exercises, and really be honest.
And you weren't seeing that at your previous brokerage type of a thing, right?
No.
Like that, or like with like another organism, like that was something that like here it's really made a big impact.
Yes.
That is awesome. So
Huge.
I'm gonna brag on you a little bit, right? Because you know you're probably not just gonna go, well, I did this and I did this, right? But you know, Courtney she's a Founders PAK member. She is has capped multiple times. She's a broker, so she's really not only are you on the production side of it, learning, growing, working through, building. Well, that's what you're doing. I feel like you're really building the business of your dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, over the last 2.5 years, what have been the biggest challenges that you've experienced, just even in those roles or getting to some of those ranks or positions, and expanding? Because you were saying, right, you were working here, you were like on a salaried position with your previous brokerage or with a broker,
Mm-hmm.
and then now your production, you're capping now, and so but with that, there's got to be challenges in there too, though.
Yeah, I think that who you're around is so true. When you see wins around you, it really is like, okay, well, if I'm not where I want to be, why not? Like, it was really a huge shift into taking personal accountability.
Yeah.
With the mindset, because we can make excuses and live in the shadow.
Right.
Forever, if that's what we choose.
That's right.
And so with that, that's hard to do though. And most people don't do it because they're scared. They might try it and then realize okay, this is it's just too much, I can't. And I thought that could happen. And I have lulls,
Sure.
I am, just trying to be as true to myself, but does that kind of
No, it really does. I think that when we're advancing and we're, let's say for example, it's Founders Pack or it's broker or it's production, I think what starts to happen, and you're right, we go through these lulls, is because we're ultimately what it brings up for me is we start to see a lot more rejection.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rejection. So let's say, for example, you're working here at, what's the name?
Moxy.
You're working here at Moxy, right? You might get an angry customer, or maybe,
Yeah.
But for the most part, people are going to be, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of rejection,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're working in a position where, okay, cool, hey, I'm checking file, I'm doing whatever I need to do. Not a ton of rejection, maybe a little. Now you start putting yourself out there, like you shared, right? You start opening up your voice, you start speaking, you start sharing your thoughts. Well, just as much as one person comes up to you and says, hey, thank you because you helped me out so much, there's another person going, what?
Yeah.
You open yourself up to rejection. There's a client that's now saying, no, I don't want you to list my home. I'm going to go with somebody else. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
So I just think what you shared there was so spot on.
Yeah, and back to the events and just the growth, really from the first business planning. I was just getting my just figuring out a little bit, and then Activate. And I remember I shared at Reignite kind of my thought then, and I had heard, being a female when there's a lot of male leaders around you, it's you have to figure out how to fit into those spaces, or just also the doubts, okay, I'm the only female, what do we have in common? How can I fit into these places? But I just I realized all of the men in PAK are just so amazing, so helpful and supportive, which was not something I was really used to, I think. But at that time at Activate, 2 years ago, I was sitting there and I was I could see some things starting to click. But I was still sitting there quiet.
Sure. Yeah.
I was just kind of taking it all in,
That's okay,
figuring it out, and I was okay, I see there is space for a female here. It's just also we're such a new company,
Sure.
And so just with that, it's
there's a lot of challenges, a lot of rejection. A lot of rejection,
and challenges and things that you really just have to think about and process and learn about yourself to say okay, am I ready to do this? Am I gonna just believe in myself? And that was part two of just joining PAK. I was I'm gonna believe in myself, and give it my all and see what happens.
I mean, it's great.
And that's what happened. So
I think it's so great. I think it's so good. No, so that is so powerful, because I think everything that we're talking about is so true, and it's what it could be joining PAK, but it could be something. It could be something else, right? It's the things that by human nature they kind of slow us down, and they don't let us fully just go, you know what, I'm gonna trust, like exactly what you said, I'm gonna trust myself, I'm just gonna go for it and let's see what happens. Shake the tree and see what falls out. So what's possible? Like so how, for your life right now, like, have you noticed lifestyle changes? Are you thinking differently about the next 5-10 years? What's possible for Courtney now, kind of moving forward? Kids are now 16 and 18, right? So 5 years from now, they're going to be 23 and 25, right? What does the future look like for you?
Yeah, I think I'm still figuring that out and like seeing what that will look like. But I know like I have a great partner. I'm in a good place right now, like mentally, emotionally, with the self-awareness and the mindset, and accepting that my kids are growing up and they're not going to live in my house forever. But like I had such a strong identity to being a mom for the past 18 years, and now it's like, okay, they're a little more independent, they're doing their own thing. I had to like let go of like just trying to hold it so tight. So right now I'm kind of like in that stage of like feeling that, and I'm just in a great place with my career, and I've made it what I want it to be, which is like I'm doing production and I'm the broker, and I get to teach classes and I get to go travel to events, like Reignite in a couple weeks in Houston. Super excited. And so like I feel like I definitely have plans of continuing on the pace that I'm at. I think it's just gonna like change a little bit, but there's so many opportunities of how I can take that that I'm not like scared of what that is gonna look like.
That's so good. That's so good. Well, your fortunes are in front of you. I mean, that is just, it's so remarkable. For somebody that is out, they're watching this episode right now of Identity Shift, and they're thinking to themselves, heck, I'm working part-time, at a restaurant, and maybe, and it's cool, but maybe I'm not the most passionate about it, right? And I'm passionate about real estate. Like I want that. Like I want to be excited about my career. I want to be in a position where the future for me is, I'm not afraid of it. I'm ready to step into it and conquer it and really be in that I am. What would you, kind of final thoughts, like what would you share with them?
Yeah, I would share to really think about what you want for yourself. Believe, everyone says like believe in yourself, and that's like there's a lot of things that people say and we're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Like you really have to like go into that and like trust yourself that you're gonna make the right decision. And if you're feeling a little scared, you're probably not gonna make a decision at all. And so really going into that and really thinking about like, what if I did do it? I think that everything happens for a purpose and all these things line up, but you have to have that in yourself to want more and to trust yourself. Like even if you do make, quit, let's say working a part-time job and went all on real estate, you have to trust yourself that if it doesn't work out, I trust myself that I'm gonna figure it out. And so having that, like, just in yourself that I want to make this decision, I see myself doing this, and I'm gonna like figure it out, whatever path that takes me. I trust myself that I can figure it out.
So good, so powerful. Courtney, we have people that are watching this, agents from across the country that are watching this episode. Where can they find you? Where can they get in contact with you? And if you have referrals for Colorado, you make sure you reach out to Courtney.
Yes, Livin, LIVIN _303 on Instagram is probably the easiest place. I'm most active on Instagram.
Thank you, Courtney, for your time today. This episode of Identity Shift. If you want to see more episodes like this, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And with that being said, let's get it, let's go.